Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at human and physical resource needs. So last podcast we had a little bit of an overview of what a business plan is and what sort of goes into a business plan. Now we're going to start looking to each section of a business plan in a little bit more detail, starting with today's lesson. So let's get cracking, hey? So outcomes. What do we want to get out of this podcast and today's activities? So, describe why owners must plan for human and physical resource needs throughout the life of the business. Okay, so what does that mean in reality, in normal person speak? Well, let's have a look. So, where does this whole human resource and physical needs fit into the business plan? So, last podcast we looked at the fact that a business plan is made up of four different sections. You've got the overview, the executive summary, you've got the operations section, you've got the financial section, and you've got the marketing. And this fits into the operations section. So what are actually human resource needs? So a little photo there I've got of a Mr. Whippy van. It's a beautiful hot summer's day. And you've got all the people there, shirts off and their summery outfits, all wanting to have an ice cream. Now, the person who operates the Mr. Whippy van, knowing it's going to be a hot day, may choose to put additional staff on, may even look at getting an additional van in, because he's realised that today, because it's going to be hot and he sells ice creams, he's going to need a lot of staff on deck to try and maximise his profit and his business opportunities. Alternatively, though, if the Mr. Whippy van has a very cold, rainy day, then the last thing he needs is lots of staff because they're just going to sit around doing nothing. So, what a good business operator does is they plan for those eventualities. He might decide that today I might just leave the van inside and take the day off. So, human resource needs. It's a staffing objective. So, it's all about the people. It's about people, people, people. It's the methods the business will use to recruit extra staff. So, Mr. Whippy Van, if he does need extra staff, how's he going to get those people on board? Is he going to put an ad in the newspaper? Is he going to ask for friends? Or is he going to go through a proper recruiting process? The administrative records to be kept to managed employees. Yeah, we all know you can't pay people under the table. You've got to do things like get tax file numbers and proper business records. And specific duties to be performed. Okay, going back to Mr. Whippy, well, what does he want his staff to perform? You just can't say, look, here, rock up, here's an apron, just go for it. You know, you've got to be quite clear. So there's some of the key human resource needs. And of course, the number of people required to operate a business. On peak hours, do you need 20 people? Do you need 15 people? In non-peak time, do you only need 2 or 3 people? Do you want some people on standby? Now, this next slide, this isn't some crazy puzzle. This is, believe it or not, the actual floor plan for an IKEA. As crazy as it looks, but what that floor plan is there to demonstrate is that when looking at the physical resources you need for business, you need to consider layouts, shop fittings, um, pathways, toilets, all sorts of different factors when actually trying to come up with the exact physical needs that your business requires to be able to operate successfully. So, physical resource needs. It's important for any operation plans to detail the types of asset required for the business, the associated cost of each asset, and the location and layout of the business asset. So, for example, in that IKEA layout, what IKEA do very well is actually know what the location layout their business is going to look at. So they know exactly what they need to be able to get that layout into reality and what sorts of fittings and stock and etc. they need to actually fill out that layout plan. So common small business assets, needs and associated costs. So common ones are stuff like premises. So very few businesses actually own their shops, they actually rent it. Motor vehicle registration, especially if you, for example, a delivery van, you need to be able to get it registered, you need to get it repaired, you need to keep it on the road because you're not going to earn any business when your van's actually in the mechanics. Computer software. Okay, we all know that we live in such a technological age, and if you don't have a good computer network, you're just not going to survive. And you want a reliable one, that one isn't constantly breaking down. So again, these are all things that you need to consider in the physical needs section of your business plan. And cash register, you know, we still have things made of paper or plastic, wherever it is in your wallet, called money. So you still need a cash register. Again, it all comes down to the running cost. That is day-to-day costs that you need, that if you don't take them into consideration in your plan and you miss out, it's going to become quite a drain on your financial resources, but also could potentially stop your business from running effectively. Phone and fax installation, very old style faxes I know, but rent, usage charges, paper. All those things, they seem very mundane and boring, but they're so crucial that if you don't factor in there, they become such a large cost that you need to have that in your business plan. Office equipment, maintenance, insurance, consumables. So that's your paper, your photocopy cartridges, all those sorts of things. Stock replacement. Okay, so summary. The human and physical resources needed of a business should be included in the operations section of a business plan. Human resources is the human staff needs of a business. For example, what skills and experience do you need in your staff to actually be able to run your business effectively? How many staff do you need to service your customers? Again, going back to Mr. Whippy Van, peak, off-peak periods are an example. Physical resources is the asset. If you also want to know another term, the capital needs of your business. So that's the stuff that you need to do things. Table, chairs, light fittings, ovens, for example, if you run a cafe, etc. Okay, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time.